I'm not going to Albuquerque, New Mexico. I just talked to a guy though in the truck stop. Two guys were talking about how 40 was down. I'm like, what? Man, 40? So yeah, it's everywhere. It's not just 70. So for anybody that needs to know that might be going that way, there's a lot of people that's here that's going, man, I'm just staying at this truck stop. I ain't going nowhere, right? That's understandable if they're going that way, because that's the nearest, or this is the nearest, safest parking truck stop that you can be, rather than continue on and be stuck on a highway that's shut down because people can't get traction or whatever, right? So, which, just so you know, I want to throw this out there for anybody that hasn't watched any of my other stuff, or maybe you're new here. If you haven't seen Fix It Vids, Trucking Tips, if you are in a parking lot, I'll just tell you this story too. But if you're in a parking lot or on the road, if you can put one chain on one tire, it will be like you're driving on dry pavement and it will bite. Now here's a story I'm gonna tell you about that. I was in Missouri, or no, let's see, Kansas City. Yeah, I was on the Missouri side of Kansas City at a little truck stop that's no longer there. And I had a load of tractors that were high and heavy in a 53-foot van, okay? And as I was trying to even park, it started to slip down the hill. And I'm like, oh man. So I was at an angle. I couldn't move my truck because every time I would move, it would jackknife more and more and more, right? As if you were turning the steering wheel to the passenger side and the back end was kicking around to the left, even though my wheels were straight. So I was getting no traction, new tires and everything. Well, I got out and I put one chain on one drive tire. I had never done this before, but it straightened me up right as rain, and it pulled me up a pretty steep grade of a hill. It was paved, but it was all iced over. So if you in a backup and you all of a sudden find that you got frozen in position, put one chain on one tire and you won't slide right to the left and not be able to move. You'll be able to pull up that hill. Okay, better believe it. So but back to this mess. So I'm just trying to get over to Kansas City. I'm gonna be, primarily taking a road that gets me up to 70. And it's, man, that guy needs to slow down. Y'all see that? Don't people, y'all see that? That's ridiculous. Just to hurry it up and get to a scale that somebody's sitting on. Listen, if you hit somebody in a parking lot, that's vehicular homicide if they die. Okay, you'll go to prison. A cop taught me that a long, long time ago. Okay? And so, yeah, don't be flying through parking lots. People walk in parking lots. Anyways, back to the weather thing. I think that I'm good to go with no issues getting over to Kansas City. Because of the temperature and because the storms seem to be a little west of here now. It's going to take me a hot minute to get there. I'm eating tacos right now and having coffee. We're going to turn them blades off. If it just gets foggy, it gets foggy. I've been trying to sit here and warm my truck up. I had to go into the truck stop. I don't know why it's zooming and messing with Zoom now. It's just the water droplets. Anyway, you can see the weather I got. It's not frozen, and my windshield's been cold. So I went inside, got me some Arizona tea with ginseng. It's making your boy smarter, for real, because smart water don't work. But anyway, yeah, if this stuff really works, I'll become a millionaire and I'll quit trucking. It'll make me actually smart. Other than that, so yeah, I'm going to Kansas City, and I'm looking at hopefully decent weather. But if you're going on 40 is, from what I've heard, it's just from what I've heard from drivers, it's shut down because of the ice and snow and the bad weather. I caught some heavy wind here in Kansas last night. There was a storm came through, it woke me up, and then today there was a storm, and then now it's just this windy nastiness. It's just nastiness. It's not even enough rain to be nothing, but when the wind drives it to you at about 60 miles an hour sideways, when you're walking across the parking lot, it's rough stuff. So, you know, it's like freaking put your boots on, your beanie hat, and, you know, whatever else you got to do just to even get into the truck stop. This place has got a Taco John's. I'm about tacos. And I got coffee. Hope everybody's doing good. I'm gonna listen to some music for a second. Anybody want to say anything? If you have any updates that you know about the roads, put it in the comments. You can make a comment here or when this goes up as a video to help out other drivers. But it's the roads are pretty sketchy for them to shut them down on I-40. There you go. Other than that, it's gonna be a wonderful day. Oh man, somewhere between this Arizona green tea with ginseng and my coffee and a cigar and these tacos, I'm gonna have a good day. I ain't worried about nothing. I hope y'all ain't worried about nothing. Just saying. I work and then I work, and when I'm not working, I work. But I love my life. Yep. In the Bible it says that today is the day that the Lord hath made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. That was what the psalmist said. So who am I to make this a bad day, right? Even though I have had adversity today and things that tried to mess with me, you can't let it make your spirit be affected. So I hope everybody gets over any crap that's thrown their way. And I hope that your spirit is happy and your mind and body is healthy. Me, I'm eating a taco. Is it good for me? I don't know, but it's good to me. So, no worries. I'm expecting this next week. There's going to be another round, I'm sure, of winter weather, but I'm expecting this to clear up at some point. Because doing dropping hooks sounds great. Until it's cold and windy and man, it'll blow your trailer door open. Y'all watch for that too. Be careful. Strong winds will rip that trailer door right out of your hand if you're trying to open up your door and throw your load locks in. You know what I mean? Latch that sucker. It will come around and smack you if you're getting out of the truck. The wind don't care. So yeah, I was trying to tell that to a gate guard earlier today. She was like, I was like, don't stand there. Don't stand there. Hang on. Let me latch this door. She's like, oh yeah, I've seen them come around like that. Yeah. Just extra dangers of this heavy wind. Stuff blowing across the highway. It ain't even dogs and cats now. It's like blue plastic barrels, trash cans, and whatever else somebody dropped on the side of the highway, flying across the road. You know what'll scare you? Is about a 90-mile-an-hour tumbleweed at about midnight come flying across the road, and it's almost like a shadow of something. You don't know what it is. Yeah, freaking tumbleweeds. So may your life be free of tumbleweeds. But people, I hope y'all are doing good. Like I said, I'm gonna shut up and eat, play y'all some reggae. Maybe it'll help y'all. It helps me. Seeing a lot of these. I know it's the economy. To defog the windshield. would go.
My favorite song is Tempted to Touch, right? But he end up on a version of that song.
They can't have a Jeremy and a team. He wanted a song from me, he wanted a song from a man, then he want to put it together again, and let them just want everything. My friends still want to keep it, but good.
He made the song, Let Me Help You. It's a remake of a 1988 song that had before, but it's fine to the remake.
That is Chris Beefy and Miss Watch from our house.
Yeah.
They played it from one time. I said, but I couldn't tell me which man forget back there where the master was on it. So I said, the best thing for me to do is just do it over.
Receive.
No, so just do it over. And that's it.
Okay.
And it's sound alright, good.
Yeah, man, wicked. Wicked.
Yeah.
Next hit.
No, me do I hear, so that's still.
I'm gonna play it. I'll hold that.
Alright, so alright.
Sorry, I got a trucker come in. Yeah, I'm here. I said, Zach, I got to look at that. I got the brightness up and everything. I'm trying to read your name, bro. I think it's Zach. Is that Zach Brown? It could be. His last name's not really Brown. I ain't gonna tell on him though if that's you. I got a question. I want to see if you could help me. Yeah, I can answer your question. I'm just sitting here chilling. I had 2 tacos that were, I made them Supremes, but it's 2 chicken tacos and 1 beef burrito, and I ain't even ate the burrito yet. So yeah, I'm here for a good hot minute. Question away, bro. I don't know everything, but if I got it, I'll help. If not, I'll pray for you and you'll find the answer. That was a good burrito. Check this out here. I see your question pop up. Hang on one second, I'm gonna read it. I gotta check something real quick. Oh, okay. That was the last one. Okay. Sorry, I'm checking messages. I'm doing a lot. I'm doing the most. Hang on a second here. All right. Yeah, I'm a rookie trucker and my license is about to expire next March. My question is to renew my Class A. Do I just pay the fee at the DMV or do I take any tests? I don't have endorsements. As far as I know, now I don't know your state, but it should be the same across the board everywhere. All you have to do is go in there and pay. If you had endorsements, you'd have to retake them, and then because they know you already know California, you should already know the common knowledge. You can call them and ask them. So call them and ask them. Don't take my word for it, but it's my understanding that it's all about the date on your license. Okay, here's how it works. If you don't have endorsements, this won't matter. But if you do have endorsements for anybody else, okay, when they're pay, okay, and then you're going to have to take the eye test, but no big deal. But if you show them, and you got to have a copy of your physical, and you got to have a self-certification form. Okay, you got to self-certify. So you'll go in there and just hand them a copy of the physical. They'll do it for you. That's the best way to do it. Don't do the faxing thing. That might take a day. So here's what you do though. You'll go in there and you'll do the self-certification, copy of your physical, eye test, here's your license, sir. Here's your, you pay them the whatever. But if you had endorsements, or if you get endorsements, that changes the date of your license anytime that happens, and you have to retake the endorsement test if it is hazmat. It's all about hazmat, okay? I think that they might even question you on tankers, but I think it's just pretty much hazmat. They're more worried about hazmat than anything. If you have like tankers, doubles and triples, bus or whatever, but I'm telling you, California has got whatever their DMV or licensing place is, has got a phone number. You can call them, you can ask them the question, and they'll tell you. And actually, each state now, I think, has an app that you can go on there, and you can check everything out that you need. So, but yeah, call them and ask them, because I'm not perfect. I ain't saying I'm right about everything, but that should get you going. But anytime it changes the date of your license, that's when you have to retake a hazmat if you have a hazmat. Okay, so in other words, if you add another endorsement to your license, that extends the date of your license. Then you actually have to retake the hazmat. It's always take the hazmat, and then you got to pay for the background check and all that garbage. It is what it is. So I had mine. I let it drop off. I'm going to re-up it. And but I've always had tankers, and I had hazmat with tankers. I was hauling some really nasty stuff. I purposefully let it drop off because I didn't even want to be tempted to go back to that. But now there's a different thing that I could do with hazmat, and I'm like, yeah, I might get it. It's all about the Department of Homeland Security, National Security, them wanting to do background checks and all that. And that's what you got to do now. And TWIC card is a whole nother animal. In case you don't know about TWIC card, you might look into that. So that's the transportation worker ID certification thing. Me, I'm just a dumb truck driver. I just want a set of keys and a logbook. I'm good to go, or computer log, either way. And coffee and a burrito. You need to study the book before you take the test, but no, it's not hard. Because you learn it. When you learn it, you know it. It's knowledge. So it's not hard if you know it, but you're not going to pass the test unless you studied and learned it, if that makes any sense. But tankers was less difficult than doubles and triples. Just mainly knowing which one to put in front and all that is a question on the test. And so a question on the test can fail you even if you know it, but you messed up. And if you fail the test, you just go back, study again, learn more, and pass it. You'll know the questions you missed. But just don't fail the test. Study and go pass it. They got a book on it at the DMV. Again, they have those books. And then there you go. And buy a CB radio, for God's sake. That's all I'm saying. Hope you have one already. But if it's tuned and peaked, don't hook it up to the inside wire on a Freightliner, because it'll give you cancer. You can even look inside of the book. I'm just mostly listening to mine. I use a little, but I'm going to hook up my outside antenna. I swap trucks. I ain't had time to mess with it. So, honestly, I just radio share about. Oh, I don't know. They're probably talking about, all you have to do is register for the clearinghouse. I think that's that. They're talking about the clearinghouse. You just go on and register for the clearinghouse. So, yeah. If they got rid of a bunch of truck drivers, they'd be getting rid of their food. They just gave us another hoop to jump through that I've already jumped through. I jumped through all the hoops. Let me make it simple for you. There's a lot of people who have jobs that talk about trucking jobs. They can't do the trucking job, but they want to critique you to see if they can say that you can't do the trucking job. So everything from physicals to whatever, I'll put it in its simplest form. Basically, this is funny. It's in the newspaper, in a newspaper from way back. You'll have to look it up. A judge ruled that a truck driver that had one eye and the other eye didn't work, he was blind in the other eye, that one eye is good enough. I think that's what it was. And that was over perception. I don't think it was an arm. I'm pretty sure it was an eye. I have heard of people that had, amputees that had one arm and kind of thing. That's what it was. It was an eye. Yeah, so even though he couldn't pass the eye test, the judge said he ain't had no wrecks. He's doing a great job. He's been doing this for, how many years? And years and years. And he's like, one eye's good enough. And he made a ruling that they couldn't take the guy's CDL. And I'm pretty sure that was California. I got to look that story up. That was actually a refreshing to hear story, that they didn't try to shut the guy down when he's just trying to earn a living and work and supply food for the nation. I mean, come on. They say we have a shortage of truck drivers. It's like they're trying to make it worse, if that makes sense. So, I mean, look, as long as you can pass a freaking drug test, you ain't upside down in the ditch, and you can drive straight, after your first couple years, you're not dead yet. You're a professional. You're not, you know what I'm saying? At what point can you call yourself, like that old song, how many roads must a man go down before you call him a man? Well, how many roads you got to go down before you call yourself a professional truck driver, right? I've been doing this for years and years and years. I tell everybody, dude, if you've been driving for at least a year or 2 years or whatever, and you ain't upside down in the ditch, you're doing fine. You know what I mean? Don't worry about what any more rules or regulations or any kind of garbage they come up with. Let's see here. Also been ready to get by with my medical because my blood pressure is like 140. Yeah, the blood pressure thing, your blood pressure thing is going, you're probably going to be anxious when you go into the doctor anyhow, which is an unfair test to take. It's kind of like saying, do you have anxiety? Well, we would like to have you stand in front of a board of 20 people, and we're going to grill you with questions, and then we're going to check your blood pressure to see if it affected you. That's stupid. So, for your anxiety, drink you some chamomile tea. Then go to a Walmart and test your blood pressure. See how it affected you. And then if it affected you in a good way, drink some chamomile tea and go into the doctor's office, right? Listen, like I said, do it ahead of time. Don't do it because it might affect you in a different way. I'm just saying, go to Walmart, drink some chamomile tea before you go. It takes about 30 to 40 minutes for anything to get into your system, okay? I know that from having to take ibuprofen when I hurt my back a while back, right? So, and I had a hurt leg. So, drink some chamomile tea. I'll tell you what will help you too. I'm a healer. This is going to sound odd. It just is what it is. To lower anxiety, okay? And to control your heart rhythm and your breathing. You'll take in deep breaths. It's like in the Bible it says, be still and know God. You're going to take in deep breaths. Here, I'll turn this truck off here so I don't feel like I'm yelling too. But while you're doing this, hold a piece of silver in your hand. It is an energy sink. Okay? I got that information through prayer. It is what it is. So you can hold a silver eagle or a Morgan, that's only 90% silver, doesn't matter, in your hand, and be still and know God. You could pray, okay? God will take anxiety away from you, but that silver is an energy sink, Okay, it's like the fins on the back of your radio that takes away unnecessary heat. And you work off of energy. You can prove this by picking up a quarter off of a cold ground, and then it's cold in your hand, right? But 15 minutes later, if you hold it in your hand, that quarter will be hot. Why? Because it acted as an energy sink. Now, yes, that's just heat, but it still comes from somewhere. You weren't born hot. You had to eat food and create that heat. Your body ups its temperature. You create energy when you're doing that. But there's also a stressful kind of energy that you can get rid of by holding silver, not just any coin, but silver in your hand. It will create an energy sink, just like the fins on the side of a motorcycle dissipate heat, or the fins on the back of older radios, okay? It's just excess. It's nothing bad. It's not going to take anything that you're using. But I promise you, you'll be cool as a cucumber if you hold a silver eagle in your hand. Plus, how can you be mad if you got a fistful of silver, right? That's my joke about it. But for real, I was given this information. I'm a healer. I know that's odd. Trust me, it works. And if you have kids that are on the autistic spectrum, that they call them that, or if they are even not, but they call them that, if they have like an emotional roller coaster, have them hold a piece of silver in their hand. So you can double blind study this. You can go in one day to Walmart, even if you're stressed out, hold a piece of silver in your hand. It starts working right away, but about 5 minutes later, take a blood test, the blood pressure test or the pressure machine, and then on a different day, turn around and try chamomile and go in there, and then you can do them both, and you can see how much lower. Get you a notepad and write the numbers down. I don't worry about stress anymore because I've learned how to fix it. You know, I could tell a joke about getting rid of your problems. I could tell a joke. I'm just saying I won't, but I got 99 problems. But one of them, hey, it depends on where your stress is coming from. But I'm saying, silver in your hand, chamomile tea, you know what I mean? Yeah, God bless you, brother. I really am a healer, though, and I pray for people. You can see on my channel, it's not right. I have a sensing and a knowing. I'm not going to go talking to you about things, but you're on that, you're in the same playing field as all the rest of the O negatives I've told is O negative. Can you handle that? Okay, so once you get that, I ain't trying to put nothing out there. I'm just saying, brother, I sense energy. Okay, so now you know you can believe me. A piece of silver in your hand can help, and it will just directly just eat up all that bad energy that you have in you that you can't get rid of. It's kind of like, here's how I describe it, and you can freak out now with the blood thing, but here's how I describe it. Okay, cattle haulers also sometimes might haul other livestock, and they might haul pigs. Okay, so if you're hauling pigs and you're in a backup and it's hot on a hot day, pigs have no sweat glands and they will die of overheating. Okay, they have no way to get rid of that excess heat. You have to call the fire department and have them come and hose those pigs down. Okay, so this can be true with certain people, certain reasons, okay, that have anxious energy, and they can even go into, they showed one picture, I don't know if he was on drugs or alcohol, though, that Justin Bieber, they had him shaking and going through an anxiety attack, and this girl, held his hand and helped calm him down. She was actually transferring energy is what she was doing. She didn't realize it. A woman can hold your hand and can calm you down like you would not believe. A hug can help, okay? And so there you go. But in that same way that a pig can't get rid of its heat, someone who has anxiety can't get rid of their excess anxiousness. They need a little help. Like I said, hold their hand, give them a hug. A piece of silver in their hand will actually absolutely Yeah, I know, and my voice is calming too, and I realize, and I've been told this too, so I'm sure it's helping you. But just believe me when I say it. And my mom has that same gift. Golly, I can be around my mom and she can start talking. It's so calming, you know. But at the same time, silver is an energy sink, and nothing is more healing than sleep. So if you're not getting enough sleep, there's music for sleep I put up on a playlist called Angels and People Knowledge on here. You got to really scroll down, find Angels and People Knowledge, click on it. It's the first video. It's called Reiki Healing Music, but it's not truly Reiki. Reiki is a word that's like the Japanese word for energy movement. You're not truly moving energy if you're praying for someone, and that's where the real healing comes from, is from God and not from people. But in the same way that you could pick up a quarter, yes, you're transferring energy, okay? So, yeah. It's called Angels and People Knowledge. I've sent a lot of people there. A lot of people have been helped by it. And if you have depression in the wintertime, there's a thing called a happy light that you can buy online. Believe it or not, that's what they named it. It's happy light. And it works. That, or go to a tanning bed for cancer patients, 7 to 11 minutes twice a week. That heals that too. So I'm not trying to really read you or pick up on your energy, but you're just flooding me with energy right now, and I'm just giving you info, and I know it's relevant, and there you go. And I'm just trying to keep up with this and not run my wipers all the time. But, and I'm eating a burrito at the same time. I can multitask a little bit, but yeah. And stay away from sulfur. If I was you, I would definitely stay away from sulfur. Okay? Break you out. You know, it's inside you, it could take you out. Okay, bad stuff. So a lot of the other O negatives have that issue. Is what it is. Man, this wiper blade's getting me. I might have to take off here in a minute. I'm glad that you came in though, and I could help you. There's that. So silver in your hand creates a calmness. I smoke cigars, but it's not really to calm down. It does have a calming effect on me. It's got to be imported tobacco. It's got to be the best imported tobacco that's kept in an actual good humidor. The Love's Truck Stops has them, but they're not perfect, but they're good. But I'm gonna say this: there's something to tobacco, and even God said, or it is said, that when the high priest burnt the meat on the altar, that God enjoyed the smell with sweet savor. So he likes the smell of grilling just as much as men do, and we're made in his own image. In the same way, tobacco, the smell of it, what I'm getting is that he likes it as long as it's not got additives. I like it. You know what I'm saying? So instead of all that black and mild garbage and all that, yeah, no worries. God bless you, brother. So, but I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna finish this burrito. We'll listen to some music. I just had to tell you that info I got. Get you a silver eagle from a pawn shop. Pay $5 more than spot value, or $7. It's calming, it's healing. So, but getting enough sleep is the main thing. And the first music on there, Reiki Healing Music, that'll fix your sleep pattern. You're gonna listen to that music for about 30 days, but the first night you'll sleep like 10 to 12 hours, believe it or not. Set your alarm and just let yourself sleep that long. And then the next it'll be 7, 8, and after 30 days, you won't need it anymore. Okay? It's by New Meditation Music. Somebody there has a gift. But I've listened to 10,000 different ones. That's the one that's on the wavelength that's O negative, O positive, A negative wavelength. It is what it is. I get information. So, you know, it can be scientifically proven that this works. From all the people that I've helped, you can find out for yourself, you'll see. But that silver would definitely help. Oh yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, at some point I'll get my monetization back. Somebody messed with some stuff and I had time to mess with it. I've had some saboteurs. All right, so end result is can't nobody hold me down. I'm God's elect. He chooses who he wants to, and he gives people gifts. And if you're helping and doing his work, woe be unto them. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I'll get it back. I haven't lost anything for it because I make good money, but it was paying me a couple $100 a month for a good hot minute, and then it shut down. All I really got to do is get in touch with YouTube and say, hey, what screwed this up? When? Why? You know, hook it back up, do this, and send me money once a month. But Hey, it's I got a new phone. I remembered most of my passwords, and then the ones I couldn't remember, I changed over. I'm doing the best I can to try to keep up. So I got a new truck, got a new phone, got some money, you know, and then from here forward, I'm just trying to go back and fix the crumbled pieces of my life that got destroyed by somebody running around on me. What can you do, right? Put you in a situation where you don't expect it, and then you got to react to it. So it can affect you for a long time. But never be stressed. And the Bible's got, you know how many times, I don't even know how, I think it's like 300, maybe it's one for every day of the week. Maybe it's 365 times that the Bible says that God says, have no fear or fear not. Even the angels, well, that's their joke. How are you going to have an angel come up in front of you, right? Stand in front of you, the most majestic creature God ever made. Even though God says we're above them, but they are more powerful, they are stronger. And not to go into angel worship or anything like that, but straight up, they are majestic, okay? And an angel stands in front of you, and what's the first thing it says? And you're all scared and everything. Fear not, for the Lord is with thee, right? That's their joke, fear not. Of course you're going to fear an angel. It's like, are you kidding me? You're going to tell me? So that's what the angel said to Mary. That's what the angel said to Joseph. That's what the angel said to, you know, everybody they've come across. That's their joke. So there's a joke that the angels have that says fear not. But the truth is the Bible tells you fear not. Not even an angel. Fear not. But we get anxiety. We have problems. We have to work it out. And so it can cause you some problems. Not fear, but anxiety going through a failed relationship that, you know, you got done wrong and then you got done wrong again, and you know, you're like, when is that going to stop? So okay, it's going to affect you for a while, and it comes in waves. If anybody out there, I'll get into this too, if anybody out there is going through a bad relationship, you think you're past it, and then it's like, and now I'm past all of this, but I'm saying it gets to a point where you're like, okay, I'm all right, I ain't gonna cry anymore, I ain't gonna be upset. If anybody says anything about crying, it doesn't make you weak. The shortest verse in the Bible is Jesus wept. He cried for Lazarus, even though he knew he was going to go and raise him from the dead, and he still cried for the lost. So it's normal for a man to cry. It's in the Bible. Christ shows by example you can cry. But you get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm not crying over this mess anymore. I'm fine now, I'm fine. And then a couple weeks later, you'll think about it, and then it just comes back to you like the tide coming in from the ocean, bringing in everything, and it overwhelms and comes over your head, and all of a sudden you're underwater again. It comes in waves. Like, not just in waves if you're on the ocean waiting for a wave to ride it, like surfing. It comes in waves that's like the tide going out, and there's no problems because the ocean's gone. You can go off the pier, walk around on the newly, you know, uncovered sand, and you could pick up crab and fish and whatever, and, you know, sand dollars. But when that tide comes back, if you're standing in that spot, it will overcome you again. Those are the waves I'm talking about. So if you got a relationship thing, that's what happens. You're like, oh my God, I thought I was over this. Oh my God, I said that there wasn't gonna be no more problems. Why is this happening again? It comes in waves. You didn't want to deal with it before, and until you deal with it and go through the dark night of the soul, and you deal with these issues and you know, do shadow work on what's going on, it could continue to come back just like the ocean. Because once you stop being in a stressed fight or flight mode, you get on top of your bills, you get on top of everything, you don't have no worries. What do you think about? Older worries. And how does that affect you? It'll stress you. And you'll go through it until you unpack that baggage. Don't matter what's in it, you got to unpack the baggage and you got to deal with it. So holding a piece of silver in your hand, like I said, that helps that. Knowing that the Bible says fear not, you fear nothing and no man. And then you'll understand that's how you deal with it. Just unpack it, look at what it is, and say, I don't need to pack that away. I need to toss that out. Sometimes it's got to go. Trash belongs in the dumpster. So anyhow, I know that was helpful to you, but it probably helpful to somebody else. And there you go. So it comes in waves. So in the same way, there's people that have anxiety problems that they pick apart everything and they pack it back up and put it back, and then they're like, I'll deal with that later, and they deal with it all the time, and it's like they're under the ocean all the time. They're barely able to breathe, and they're holding their head up. They're barely able to breathe. They're having full-on panic attacks. They can't even breathe and say their own name. Like I said, a piece of silver in their hand takes that excess energy. It doesn't take energy from you, it just takes the excess stress and energy. And like I said, my joke about it is, how can you be mad or upset or anything if you got a fistful of silver? And if you think about that, when you're done with it, that thought alone is kind of funny. It'll make you laugh, and you're like, yeah, what was I thinking? I'm sitting here with a fistful of silver. There you go. That's why I was making silver keychains. That's why at some point I'm gonna have keychains on here that's gonna say Truckinstuff, and I'll sell them for so close to what they're actually worth, and they'll go up in value. Now I'm gonna put silver in people's hands. You see what I'm saying? So somebody gets upset, comes on here and says something. I say, well, hey, where's your keychain at? Are you holding your keychain? How you gonna be mad? You got a fistful of silver. You know? So anyway, enough of that. Let's listen to some reggae and have some coffee and cigars, people. Get your cigar. If you don't have one, you should. Smoke them if you got them. I'll tell you one thing, whatever woman gets me is gonna be one lucky woman. Yo. Because I'm at a point now, I've fixed all my problems, I'm awesome. It ain't about having money or this or that. It's about inside and knowing how much love you got to give and how much you can help another person and they can help you and you can build together. What? Man, she's gonna be so lucky. I will too. But I'm just saying, make yourself to that point and make yourself the person that another person would die to be with, and then you will both reciprocate the energy and you will both be like, oh my God, I'm so lucky to have them. And they'll be like, oh my God, I'm so lucky to have them. And that's a relationship. That's what's up. And build together. Talk about your goals and fulfill them. I got simple goals. I'm gonna have a log cabin, a lake to fish on, and buy and sell a bunch of houses and make millions. You know what I mean? I don't think any woman's gonna disagree with that plan. I just don't. She can fish too. It's good. I'll buy her a couple fishing poles and a boat and whatever, you know. Just saying. But I got a working truck to make the money to start it up with seed money. You know. This is a good burrito. Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring her coffee every day. She's gonna come with me. Be a long vacation. A sightseeing tour of the U.S. Man, it's a good burrito. I dig it. And if you ever need answers and you can't get the answers, if you go without sleep, God sees it as suffering, the same way Christ tried to teach the apostles, hey, if you just stay up for 5 days, you get to talk to the saints. It's simple. They couldn't do it. They went to sleep, they woke up, saw him talking to the saints. But they couldn't talk to him because they weren't able to stay up, which is okay. But any suffering at all like that, if you go without sleep, any suffering at all, even a long day, God sees it as suffering, just like Lent. When you give something up, God sees it as suffering. You'll be blessed. When you fast, you go without food, God sees it as suffering. You will be blessed. In the same way, if you go without sleep, you've been through a lot, tell God, say, hey, look, I'm asking that you see this as suffering. Do you see my suffering, God? I'm asking for this. You'll get what you are asking for. An answer, information, you know, a new situation that's better. So, there's that too. There's all kinds of knowledge in the Bible that I've been shown that it's clear to me. So I can't understand it for you, but I can tell you so that you can understand it. You know. Anyway, about time for that cigar. Where's that cigar at? That's happening. I'm gonna start this up, make sure I got heat going again. Woo. I like this Taco John's, man. These burritos are banging. Almost done with this one. I'm gonna get going. So people, check the weather before you go. Man, that's good. Made my day. That's a burrito. I got grapes too. They mix in the grapes now at the Lowe's. I want you to have green and red. Don't know what that's about, but I dig it. God bless you, people. I'm gonna get off this thing, but Zach and everybody else, the ones like him, O negative, and the ones that are descendants of the angels, that's, you know, even the O positive, A negative, the ones that you just might not know what you are, that playlist will be helpful, and silver will be helpful for the ones that do have issues. I'm gonna get going, not trying to pry into people's stuff, just saying. Hope it was helpful. Y'all have an awesome day. I'm gonna have grapes. I'm gonna smoke that cigar on the way because I've been chilling for a minute and I ain't had my lunch. Appreciate you showing up, showing out, and y'all be careful on the roads. I might have to check in tomorrow too if this weather thing's going on. I'm just trying to get intel on it, but I know it's helpful. So I'm gone, y'all. I'm out. God bless you. Peace.